Heuristic evaluation. A heuristic evaluation is a usability inspection method for the computer software that helps to identify usability problem in the user interface design. Means heuristic evaluation is an inspection method through which we can identify the problem of user interface design of any product and solve the problem of the user interface. Heuristic evaluation is a method for finding usability flaws in a design by judging it. The goal of heuristic evaluation is to identify the problem and solve the problem through the design. 10 heuristic evaluation methods found by Jacob Nelson. We still use Jacob Nelson 10 heuristic evaluation methods to identify the problem of our design and solve it through the design. Heuristic evaluation method. They are called heuristics because they are a broad rule of thumb and not specific usability guidelines. Let's see which are the 10 heuristic evaluation methods. First is visibility of system status. The system should always keep user informed about what is going on through the appropriate feedback within a reasonable time. Let's understand with an example. As you can see on this screen, we have uploaded a photo and it is being uploading. So through this loading bar, we are understand how many percent of our photos have been uploaded and how much more time it will take to upload. So this is our visibility of system status. It informs the user. Let's understand with another example. As you can see on this screen, this is our breadcrumbs. With the help of this breadcrumbs, we are able to understand which page user is inside and where he is. So this is our visibility of system status. So as you have seen in some examples, how can we inform our users of methods of visibility of system status? Second, match between system and the real world. The system should speak the user language with the words, phrases and concepts familiar to the user rather than system-oriented terms. Follow real-world conventions, making informations appear in a natural and logical order. Like example, when we used to highlight a line while reading a book in this way, likewise the Medium website has matched the same experience of the real world with the digital world. So this is our match between system and the real world example. How can we connect a real world things with this system so that the user can understand it very easily? User control and freedom. Put the user in charge and give the ability to do things in freely. That especially relates to undo and redo. Users should have the ability to go back and fix mistakes without hassle. Like example, when we send an email to someone through Gmail, we get a message. Your message has been sent, and after that, return is undo. So with this, the user has control that if he has mistaken something in the email, he can undo it and correct it. Quora. If you post or comment in Quora, you have a control. You can edit or delete it. So this is the user control and freedom. Fourth, consistency and standards. Users should not have to wonder whether different words, situation or action mean the same thing. This saves us time and energy. We have to maintain consistency and standards in our designs. Like example, if you look at the shopping cart on the e-commerce website, then it will always be seen in the right side, like Amazon, Flipkart, and Myntra. All the websites shows shopping carts on the right side because it's a standard. All the users who use e-commerce website, they know that the shopping cart is always on the right side. So this is some standards. Stories. If you look at the stories like WhatsApp stories, Instagram stories, Facebook stories, all these stories only live for 24 hours. It is automatically delete after the end of 24 hours. So all the stories work in the same way. You will see all the stories in this circle, and when you clicked on these stories, you can see a story for 15 seconds. So this is a consistency and standards. Fifth is error prevention. Even better than good error message is a careful design which prevents a problem from occurring in the first place. Either eliminate error prone condition or check for them and present user with a confirmation option before they commit to the action. We should create our design in such a way that prevent the users from making mistake. Like example, if you see the sign up page for MailChimp, so when we enter the password, MailChimp informs us through his design how to fill the correct password. As I start entering the password hints appearing at the bottom and password characteristics which are met gets highlighted and the rest remains disabled. It means while filling the password, we have to use a lowercase character, uppercase character, one number, one special character, and minimum 8 characters should be there. Through this design, we are able to understand which character we have to use to fill the correct password. This is a perfect example. Through this design, we can prevent our users from making mistakes. Gmail, you are mailing someone, and in the subject line, you have to return, please find the attachment, and you forgot to attach a file. As you click on the send button, Gmail show you a pop-up message like it seems like you forgot to attach file. So as you can see in this, how Gmail is stopping us from making mistakes. In this way, you can use it in your design. So this example of error prevention. Recognition rather than recall. Minimize the user's memory load by making objects, action, and options visible. The user should not have to remember information from one part of the dialog to another. Instruction for use of this system should be visible or easily retrievable whenever appropriate. Like example, keynote. If I want to see what PPT I opened in a few days ago, so I can go to the file menu, then open recent and I can check which PPT I saw in a few days back. So I did not have to stress my mind too much and I was able to see very easily which PPT I have checked in the last days. This is the another example. Google. If a user search on Google, as soon as he types 2-3 words, Google shows some suggestions related to that keyword. So the user does not need to type the entire keyword and through that suggestions we are able to search very easily. He does not have to put too much emphasis on his mind. He does not have to apply much effort and the chances of making mistakes are also reduced. So this is the example of recognition rather than recall. Seventh, flexibility and efficiency of use. Accelerators, unseen by the novice users, may often speed up the interaction for the expert user such that the system can create to both inexperienced and experienced user, allow user to tailor a frequent action. Like example, there is a new user who use MS Word. He has to copy a text and he is not so aware of the system. So to copy it, he will go to the edit menu and click on copy. So he copy the text in this way. Second user, this is the little aware of the system. So it will select the text and the right click and copy it. Third user, this is an expert. So it will select the text and will copy it by Ctrl C. So how can it be multiple ways to achieve a single task? Every user is able to achieve that task according to his efficiency. It means flexibility is there and everyone is able to achieve their task according to their efficiency. Eighth, aesthetic and minimalist design. Dialogue should not contain information which is irrelevant or rarely needed. Every extra unit of information in dialogue competes with the relevant units of information and diminishes their relative visibility. We should use least element in our design. We should use those elements in our design which is really needed to the user. We should use not so much information. More information makes design cluttered. Like example, Google. If you see the homepage of Google, then you will see search in focus. Google design is very clean and very clear. There is no any irrelevant information on it, through which any user is able to search on Google very easily. In the same way, when you create any design, you should use least element. So your design should be clean, clear, and minimalist design. Ninth, help users recognize, diagnose, and recovers from errors. If a user make any mistake, then you should show him a clean error message. Whatever he has mistaken, you should guide him properly. What is the error and how the user can recover from it. Like example, if you use YouTube and if your internet stops at any time, then YouTube show you a clear message like you are offline, and to recover from that, YouTube giving you a call to action button so that you can solve that problem. So in this way, you can use this method in your design. 10th, help and documentation. Even though it is better if the system can be used without documentation, it may be necessary to provide help and documentation. Any such information should be easy to search focused on the user's task, list concrete steps to be carried out, and not be too large. Like example, you must have ever booked Ola or Uber cab and the driver has cancelled your bookings. Then you book the cab again. But when you pay the driver this time, some extra charges are added on it. Because your first booking was cancelled by a driver and the cancellation charges are added. So what will you do in this case? Definitely you will go to the help or support page of Ola and Uber and you will find the solution for this problem. So that's why help and documentation is very important for every app. With this, if the user has made a mistake or he is not aware of anything, then how he can solve that problem. If you go to support page of Ola, you will get a search box and different topics like ride options, my account, fare and payment, safety and many more. So the user can easily search by coming here or he can find the solution through these topics. So whatever topics are here, their content should be short so that the user can read and understand very quickly and solve any of his problem. So in this way, you can create a help or support page so that any problem occurs to any user, how can their solutions to be found.